I found your name in an old draft, half written, never sent. A sentence held in quiet, like it still meant what it meant. The room was barely lit, the night was moving slow. I didn't feel a sting, just something I should know. I used to delete the evidence, like it could keep me clean. Now I let it sit there, like a photograph unseen. Not asking for a rewrite, not pulling at the past, just noticing the residue that always seems to last. Some words don't need delivery to still be true. Salt on the page, so tied into me, a message that never needed to leave. I don't send it, I don't run, I just let it be what it was. Salt on the page, soft and clear, not a wound, just something near, a quiet trace of who I'd been before I learned to breathe again. Maybe closure is a feeling, not a final line. I write things like I'm talking to you, then I fold them back inside. Not because I want you back, but because I like the tide. How it brings about a chimney, then returns it to the sea. I could feel it had a cycle, and the cycle lives in me. The night keeps giving me small proofs that I'm not who I was then. I can touch them and read where I call in it again. I can hold a softer version of the part that used to wake like a shoreline, learning slowly how to bend without a break. How to lead your reply to know what I meant. Shoreline drives written in there, things I don't send still right there. Low tide thoughts that rise and fall without asking you at all. Shoreline drives, light in my hand, a quiet peace I understand. Not a crawl, not a plea, just a way of returning to me. Some goodbyes don't speak, they soften. We were never loud about it, but we felt it all the same. Our closeness with a boundary, a tenderness with no name. Now it lives like a waterline where the sea meets silent ground. Not pulling me under, just moving when it's around. I don't cry that long with longing, I don't stand there asking why. I just watch it shift good weather, like the sky above the wind inside. a message in my pocket, like a stone I like to hold. Not for pain, not for drama, just a weight that feels controlled. It says the things I never said. In the moments we move fast. Now it's quiet, now it's harmless. Now it's find me in the past. There were nights I wanted answers, wanted meaning, wanted proof. Now I just want my own calm. In the night to feel like truth. So I carry what I learned, not what I couldn't make you see. And the unsent stays unsent, because it's mine to keep. Now sending is a choice, not a loss. I'm sending in my pocket, warm and small. Not a weight that makes me fall. Just a note that taught me how to be honest, even now. On the send in my pocket, steady tone, a private truth I fully owned. I don't need to press send to feel the cleanest end. Some words are for you, some are for your peace. I feel you in the smallest places, like sand caught in a cup. Not sharp, not irritating, just present in the stuff. A song comes on, a scent passes, it's straight I hit a wall. And suddenly I remember how I used to feel it all. But the memory doesn't take lead, it just brushes past my skin, like a reminder of my softness, not a pull to jump back in. I'm learning how the mind keeps traces, even when the heart moves on. And how that doesn't mean regression, it just means I lived it strong. We leave pieces everywhere that's human. Sand in the seams, still there, but it doesn't turn to prey. This was texture, just a sign that a moment once was mine. Sand in the seams, quiet proof that I love without a roof. And I'm okay with what remains, even if it doesn't change. Some traces are homeless when you feel that low tide ends appear, that the water kept concealed. Old shells, old grass, old fragments, pieces time given steel. I hear your name like that sometimes, my loud, not in the net. Just serve the same for a second, that's on into the side. two empty pages with no address at the top. Just feelings in the margins. Just a moment I couldn't stop. Now they sit like folded paper in a drawer that doesn't ask. I don't open them for suffering, I open them to love. Because I can see myself there, trying hard to be understood, trying to make meaning out of time, and trying to be good. Now I read it like a stranger with compassion, not critique, like I'm finally the person who can meet me when I'm weak. Growth is noticing without shame. Letters without addresses stay, not to haunt, but to explain who I was, what I believed, what I gave and couldn't keep. Letters without addresses breathe like the tide beneath my feet. Not a message to your phone, just a part of coming home. Sometimes the letter was for you, sometimes it was for me. We think the water forgets it all, but it remembers every storm. It holds the salt, it holds the drift, it reshapes what once was torn. I'm learning on the same way. I don't erase what I've outgrown, I just let it settle deeper till it's quiet in the bones. I used to want clean endings, like a door that clicks and seals, where life is more like shorelines, and the shorelines always heal. Not by closing, not by cutting, rhyme turning by release. I learn time do what it does until the edge finds peace. Don't always in memory, we just learn. The sea keeps score, we got a paid, it holds the salt to interchange. If I remember what we were, it doesn't mean I want it back. The sea keeps scoring and tides move on, softly we ride, you know it's falling. And I'm learning from the waves, got to loosen what I say. Time doesn't delete, it transforms. Some night fast won't go back to a thought I thought was gone. Not because I'll miss you, but because the mind goes on. You test the old reflections to see if I still sting. And when McDonald's had a little, like a woman unquiet. I'm not afraid of repetition when the mirage like gentle rain. It's just a nervous system learning, it's allowed to feel again. So I let the feeling pass through like a slow and steady tide, and I keep my feet on solid ground. Well, the water shifts, it's mine. Returning isn't relapse. If you're stable, soft return patterns, clean and slow. Low fires that no longer glow. Not a spiral, not a sign, just a rhythm of the mind. Soft return patterns, then they fade like shadows that collide or make in a state clear, calm with no seed inside my own. news arrive like driftwood, not planned but on time. A piece of something broken, still beautiful in its design. I used to look for meaning in every splinter, every crack. Now I just hold what washed ashore and let it be a fact. You were a kind of lesson I didn't know I needed yet. Not because you were perfect, but because you made me set a boundary I couldn't name, a standard I could feel. And now the truth sits in our hands, light, honest, and real. Some people come to teach you shape. Driftwood truths in my palm. Now the storm, just what moved on. I don't build a home from this, but I honor what it is. Driftwood truths smooth from time, edges softened into line, and I carry what it gave without needing it to stay. Not everything that leaves is lost. There's a moment where the ocean holds its breath against the shore. Everything is fully present, nothing asking for one more. That's how it feels sometimes now. When the memory hits its height, I can feel it fully vivid, and I watch it lose its bite. I don't panic at the spill, I don't brace for undertow. I just let the fear rise, then let it learn to go. Because I'm not fragile anymore, I'm not made of sudden breaks. I'm a person who has practiced letting waves do what they take. Intensity doesn't scare me when I'm grounded. Thought it is peak then intense. Nothing breaks, nothing burns. I can feel the flawless wave, as they'll say. Tide at its peak then release. I don't bug it, I don't plead. I just let it pass through me like the sea. Resolution lived in what we'd finally say. Now I know some end and settle when you stop asking them to stay. No message needed, no speech, no perfect final tone. Just time doing its quiet work till the need dissolves alone. This tower and exerting down. pool fade. I know there's less pull in the evenings, less curiosity in the ache, less imagination around you, less meaning for my mind to make. It's not that you disappeared, it's that the charge no longer sparks. Like the tide pulled back its power and left the shore more calm, less dark. I still respect what happened, I still honor what I fought, but it sits inside my story, not as a spell, just as a shelf. A chapter I can touch lightly without falling through the page, because the pull is not the point now, the growth is what remains. Detachment can be tender. The pull fades and I stay more present every day, not forgetting, not pretending, just no longer depending. The pool fades and the sea feels like it belongs to me, and I move like I've been freed from needing you to breathe. I can miss a moment without living in it. Shoreline boundary. As a man of water respects, even when I want to climb, it reaches then it retreats like it knows the rule of time. I'm burning my own boundaries, not as walls but as design, where the heart can feel deeply but still keep its spine. You don't get tired of me just because you once did. Now you're part of my history, not my hairs is gray, and that doesn't make it cold, it makes it honest and grown like a soul. Like say you carry, this is mine and this is whole. Boundaries can be gentle and full. Shoreline boundary, clear and clear. I can feel without fear. I cannot be tied moving without calling it begin. Shoreline boundary, standing close where my calm is safely found, and the sea can do its work without taking word on word. Love without access is still love. Let go in the foam. Your name sometimes shows up in the foam right before, then it disappears again before it ties into a net. It doesn't ask for a story, it doesn't ask for a sign, it's just a flickering for past in a mind that's doing fine. commanded. I retrieve myself slowly from the places I once gave. Not angrily, not dramatically, just one piece at a time. A habit, a standard, a softness, a spine. Returning to my own hands what I left behind. There were moments I adapted to be easier to hold. Now I'm learning that my nature was never too much, too bold. So I gather what belongs to leave from the edges of that time, and I bring it back into my life like it always was designed. Taking yourself back is sacred, quiet retrieval, steady and slow. I'm reclaiming what I know. Not your approval, not your gaze, just my own unbroken ways. Quiet retrieval, calmly turn. I don't chase, I don't yearn, I just gather what was mine, and I keep it line by line. Healing is recovery, not replacement. The tide never apologizes for riding when it does. It doesn't care about my plans. It moves because it must, and something in that certainty feels like guidance for my life. Stop forcing every outcome, stop calling pressure right. I used to push for closeness before it had the room to grow. Now I watch, I water away, and moves when it's a go. Timing isn't passive, it's an intelligence, a skill. And I'm learning how to trust it without trying to control. Maybe patience is a form of power. The tide teaches timing, no rush, no climbing, just the right turn at the right turn. The tide teaches timing, and I'm aligning with what flows instead of what I force. What's meant to land will land. I reread the old drafts once, then closed them without regret. Not because they're meaningless, but because they're finally said. The words don't meet a destination, they did their job in me. Been named what I was carrying, been set it out to sea. I don't burn them for drama, I don't keep them like us trying. I let them turn to air like breath, leaving my spine. Because the truth doesn't disappear just because the page is gone. It lives in how I move now, it lives in what I a destination. The shore remembers every step, but doesn't hold you down. It lets you come and lets you go without keeping you around. That's how I wanna hold the past, not grabbing, not denying, just a kindness and a memory that doesn't keep me trying. I can think of you with softness without imagining a door. I can honor what we almost had without reaching for more. Because my life is here and real, and my future needs my hands. So I bless the place you were in, then return to where I stand. Memory can be gentle and complete. The shore remembers kindly, not tightly, not pulling me back, just holding the fact. The shore remembers kindly, and I'm finally free to walk forward without turning. Kindness is closure too. Pulls back quietly, and everything is visible, almost eaten by just well. Nothing simple, minimal. I see the pieces